What if America's longest river isn't what we thought it was? What if beneath its calm surface, the Missouri River hides secrets so shocking they could change everything we know about the nation's waterways, its history, and even its future?
The river is not only much higher, but it's also moving much faster than normal for this time of year.
Stretching over 2,300 miles, the Missouri has carved valleys, sustained civilizations, and powered economies for centuries. From its headwaters in Montana to its confluence with the Mississippi near St. Louis, it has always been a symbol of strength, endurance, and life. But recent discoveries are rewriting that story in ways no one saw coming. Scientists probing the riverbed with sonar, seismic scanners, and sediment cores have found signs of something extraordinary. Hidden chambers, ancient landscapes buried beneath silt, and mysterious chemical signatures that defy explanation. What lies beneath the Missouri may not only reshape how we see the river, but how we understand the very land it flows through. Could the Missouri River be concealing evidence of massive earthquakes, long-lost ecosystems, or even civilizations swallowed by time? The answers are beginning to surface, and they are more startling than anyone expected. The Missouri River is no longer just a river. It is a puzzle, a warning, and perhaps even a prophecy. And what scientists have found beneath it has left them stunned. Chapter 1. A river with two faces. At first glance, the Missouri River looks timeless. Its waters wind across the Heartland, muddy and wide, flowing past farmland, towns, and cities. To many, it feels unchanging, steady as the horizon. But beneath the surface, the story is very different. When researchers deployed sonar mapping equipment to scan the riverbed, they expected to see a familiar pattern: shifting sandbars, eroded channels, and ordinary sediment. What they found instead was a jagged, uneven underworld. Deep pits, towering ridges, and strange depressions that looked nothing like a normal river bottom. Some features were hundreds of feet wide and far deeper than expected, almost like craters. At first, the team suspected human activity, old mining scars perhaps, or collapsed levees. But as they traced the patterns, a chilling realization set in. Many of the shapes aligned with ancient fault lines mapped across the Midwest, suggesting that the Missouri River may have been shaped not only by water, but by earthquakes. The Missouri has always been called the Big Muddy, but what lies beneath its murky surface may be proof that the river's story is tied to forces much larger than erosion. It is not just carving the land, it may also be recording the restless heartbeat of the earth itself. Chapter 2. Buried Valleys and Lost Rivers. What if the Missouri River is not the first river to flow here, but only the latest chapter in a much older story? When scientists drilled deep into the river's floodplain, they uncovered evidence of ancient valleys buried far beneath the mud. Ghostly channels that suggest an entire network of forgotten rivers lies entombed below. Sediment cores pulled from the depths revealed layers of gravel and sand, traces of flowing water that predate the Missouri itself. Some of these channels are tens of thousands of years old, carved during ice ages when glaciers advanced and retreated across the Midwest. Others may be millions of years older, remnants of a time when the landscape looked nothing like it does today. These buried valleys are more than curiosities. They may hold vital clues about past climates, droughts and floods, patterns that could return in the future. And there's another mystery. Some of the valleys don't line up with the Missouri's current course at all. Instead, they curve in strange directions, suggesting that the river has shifted dramatically over time, abandoning entire pathways and carving new ones. For scientists, the implications are staggering. Beneath the Missouri lies a hidden history of rivers lost to time, sealed beneath layers of silt. And as the river continues to shift in the present day, it raises an unsettling question. How much longer will its current path last before the Missouri once again abandons its course and rewrites the map of the Midwest? Chapter 3. The Quake Connection. The Missouri River has always been known for floods. But what if it also carries scars of earthquakes? Recent studies suggest that the river's strange underworld of ridges and depressions may be tied directly to seismic activity across the Midwest. Geologists mapping the riverbed noticed patterns that matched ancient fault lines stretching into Missouri, Iowa, and Nebraska. Some of these faults are thought to be inactive, remnants of the continent's violent past. But the Missouri's hidden craters and cracks suggest otherwise. Could the river be quietly recording seismic events that we've forgotten? In fact, there's precedent. In 1811 and 1812, the New Madrid earthquakes rattled the Mississippi Valley with such force that the Mississippi River reportedly ran backward for hours, though centered hundreds of miles away. Those quakes reshaped landscapes across the Midwest. Could the Missouri hold similar scars? Evidence of massive quakes that predate written history. Seismic sensors placed near the river have already detected low-level tremors. Most are too faint to feel, but they ripple through the earth with regularity. Combined with the strange shapes under the riverbed, these tremors point to an unsettling possibility: that the Missouri is more than a waterway. It may be a fault line witness, carrying within its depths the hidden story of earthquakes that could one day return. And if the riverbed is tied to seismic instability, then millions of people living along its banks may be far more vulnerable than anyone realizes.
Chapter 4. Toxic secrets in the mud. What if the Missouri River isn't just carrying water, but a toxic time bomb? Beneath its muddy surface, scientists have uncovered chemical secrets that could threaten millions. When researchers sampled the sediments along the riverbed, they expected ordinary mud and sand. Instead, they found layers thick with arsenic, mercury, lead, and pesticides. Decades of pollution washed downstream from farms, factories, and cities. Trapped in the mud, these poisons had been buried and forgotten. But now, as floods scour the riverbed and expose hidden layers, they are resurfacing. The problem is bigger than anyone imagined. Tests showed some areas where toxins were concentrated at levels hundreds of times higher than safe drinking standards. In flood years, these poisons don't stay buried. They're stirred up, swept downstream, and deposited in floodplains where communities farm and live. Worse still, researchers discovered chemical signatures from sources they didn't expect: waste from uranium processing plants, industrial solvents, and other remnants of mid-20th century America's most dangerous industries. The Missouri River, it turns out, has been a silent witness to everything poured into it. The river has always been called the lifeline of the Midwest. But what if that lifeline is tainted? The toxins in its mud don't just threaten fish and ecosystems. They could be creeping into the drinking water of millions who depend on it every day. Beneath the Missouri's surface lies not just history, but a hidden chemical arsenal. And it is waiting for the right flood, the right disturbance to be unleashed. Chapter 5. Fossils from Another World. The Missouri River isn't only a story of pollution and peril. It also carries evidence of life long vanished, fossils that tell a story of worlds older than the river itself. As scientists dug deep into the floodplain sediments, they began to uncover bones, shells, and even plant material from eras when this land was a very different place. In some areas, they found fossilized remains of mammoths and mastodons, giant creatures that roamed the plains during the last ice age. Elsewhere, they discovered the fossilized imprints of ancient seashells, proof that millions of years ago, this region lay beneath a vast inland sea. One discovery stunned researchers: petrified wood embedded in deep mud layers, preserved for tens of millions of years. The samples told a story of ancient forests that once grew where the Missouri now flows. Layer upon layer, the river has buried time itself. Even more mysterious were fragments of unidentified fossils, odd shapes that didn't match known species. Some scientists believe they may represent transitional forms or even previously unknown creatures. The Missouri, in its constant erosion and deposition, may be unearthing fossils that rewrite the story of North America's past. The Missouri is often called the Big Muddy, but hidden in that mud are treasures, evidence of ecosystems, climates, and species that no longer exist. Each flood uncovers a piece of the puzzle, each excavation a reminder that the river is not only carving the present, but revealing the ghosts of forgotten worlds. Chapter 6. The Hidden Caves. What if beneath the Missouri River lies an underground labyrinth no one ever expected? Recent sonar scans and geological surveys suggest that the river may be sitting on top of a hidden world, vast caves and hollow chambers stretching deep into the bedrock. At first, researchers dismissed the strange sonar returns as equipment glitches, but repeated surveys confirmed the same anomalies. Large, empty voids beneath the riverbed, some extending for hundreds of feet. These weren't just sinkholes, they were structured caverns carved by ancient water systems long before the Missouri ever existed. Exploration of nearby limestone cliffs revealed collapsed cave entrances, suggesting that entire networks may once have connected to the modern river. Some scientists believe these caves still do, hidden beneath layers of sediment and water. If true, they could be redirecting groundwater, altering the river's flow in ways we don't yet understand. But the discovery raises troubling questions. How stable are these chambers? Could they collapse suddenly, swallowing parts of the riverbank, or even entire sections of farmland and infrastructure nearby? Already, small collapses have been documented along tributaries, hinting that the hidden voids are shifting. The Missouri River isn't just flowing over solid ground, it may be gliding across a fragile hollow foundation, one that could collapse without warning. The Big Muddy may be hiding caverns large enough to rewrite the map of the Midwest. Chapter 7. The River That Moves. What if the Missouri River isn't where we think it is, and may not stay where it is for long? Unlike a highway or a city, a river isn't fixed. It is alive, restless, and constantly on the move. And the Missouri is moving faster than most realize. Historical maps compared with modern satellite imagery reveal staggering changes. In some places, the river has shifted its course by miles, abandoning old channels and carving new ones seemingly overnight. Entire towns once built on its banks now sit stranded far from the water, while others have been swallowed whole by the river's relentless march. Scientists studying sediment deposits discovered why. The Missouri doesn't just flood, it rewrites the land every time it surges. In extreme years, the river cuts new pathways, slicing through farmland, breaching levees and leaving behind oxbow lakes as scars of its old path. But what's happening now may be unprecedented. With climate change fueling heavier rains and stronger floods, the Missouri's movements are becoming more extreme. Models suggest that sections of the river could shift again in coming decades, potentially threatening towns, highways, and even critical infrastructure like pipelines and railways. The Missouri River is not bound by the maps we draw. It is a shapeshifter, carving and abandoning channels in ways that remind us who truly controls the land. And the cracks scientists are finding beneath it suggest the next move may be coming sooner than anyone expects. Chapter 8. The Energy Beneath. What if the Missouri River is sitting on a hidden source of power? Beneath its waters, scientists have found signs of geothermal activity. Heat rising from deep underground, warping the rocks below. Geological surveys revealed unusual temperature spikes in groundwater near sections of the river. At first, these anomalies were dismissed as measurement errors, but repeated tests confirmed the truth. The Missouri River is warmed in places by geothermal heat seeping up from below. This raises two possibilities. One is that the river overlays pockets of untapped geothermal energy, an invisible reservoir of power that could be harnessed to fuel the future. The other is more unsettling. Rising heat could destabilize buried fault lines, speed up erosion, and even create hidden weaknesses in the river's bedrock foundation. There are already hints of instability. Some areas show signs of unusual bubbling as gases escape from fractures deep below. Could these emissions be harmless, or are they warnings of pressure building beneath the surface? No one knows for sure. What's clear is that the Missouri isn't just flowing across cold, dead stone. It is riding over a restless system, one with the potential to either provide energy or unleash chaos. The question scientists are asking now is simple. Is the river's hidden energy a blessing or a ticking time bomb? Chapter 9. Collapse Scenarios. What if the Missouri River isn't simply shifting, but preparing for something catastrophic? Scientists have begun modeling collapse scenarios, and the results are chilling. One possibility is sudden subsidence. If hidden caves or weak sediment layers beneath the river collapse, entire stretches of riverbank could vanish overnight. Farms, roads, and even towns could be swallowed, leaving nothing but a muddy scar in their place. Another scenario is seismic. If buried faults beneath the Missouri reactivate, even a moderate earthquake could destabilize levees, bridges, and dams. The resulting flood could surge for miles, overwhelming communities that thought they were safe behind barriers. Then there's the long-term scenario, climate-driven floods. As rainfall grows heavier, the Missouri may shift its course once again, carving a new channel and abandoning its current one. Entire regions could wake up to find that the river that once sustained them has simply moved on. These scenarios sound extreme, but they are all possible. The Missouri has already reshaped the Midwest countless times before. The difference now is that millions of people, billions of dollars in infrastructure, and critical farmland all sit in its path. If the river decides to move or collapse, it could trigger one of the greatest natural disasters in American history. Chapter 10. The Ancient Megafloods. What if the Missouri River we see today is only the faint echo of something much larger, massive floods that once ripped across the heart of America with unimaginable force? Geological evidence suggests that thousands of years ago, the Missouri Valley was shaped not just by steady erosion, but by cataclysmic deluges that tore the land apart. Scientists studying the bluffs and terraces along the river found deposits of boulders too massive to have been moved by ordinary floods. Instead, they point to ancient megafloods unleashed when glacial lakes burst during the last ice age. When ice dams failed, walls of water roared across the plains, carving valleys, stripping soil, and leaving behind scars that are still visible today. Some researchers believe these ancient floods were among the most powerful events in North America's history, rivaling the forces that shaped the Columbia River Gorge in the Pacific Northwest. And here's the chilling part. If it happened once, could it happen again? With climate change accelerating the melt of modern glaciers and increasing the likelihood of dam failures, some scientists warn that history could repeat itself, though on a different scale. The Missouri River isn't just a steady, muddy current, it is a survivor of catastrophic floods that could return if the right triggers align. Its peaceful surface hides the memory of disasters that once swept away entire landscapes and may do so again. Chapter 11. The future of the Big Muddy. What if the Missouri River as we know it is already disappearing? Projections for the coming decades suggest that the river is heading into uncharted territory. Its future uncertain, its path unpredictable. Climate models predict more intense storms, longer droughts, and hotter summers across the Midwest. This means the Missouri may swing wildly between extremes, devastating floods in one year, bone-dry trickles in another. Such instability could destroy farmland, cripple shipping routes, and leave entire communities stranded. There's also the looming crisis of infrastructure. Levees, dams, and bridges built decades ago were never designed for the scale of floods scientists now predict. If they fail, the destruction could ripple across the country, not just the Midwest. But the Missouri is not just a river of danger, it is also one of opportunity. Some see its hidden geothermal heat as a potential energy source. Others believe the fossils and sediments buried within it hold clues to future climate survival. The Missouri may terrify us, but it also teaches us, reminding us that nature always holds the final word. The Missouri River's future is uncertain, but one thing is clear, it will not stay the same. It never has. And the discoveries beneath its surface suggest that the greatest changes are still ahead. Chapter 12. The River's Warning. The Missouri River has always been a symbol of endurance, a muddy thread tying together the heart of America. But what lies beneath it tells a very different story. Hidden valleys, toxic mud, ancient fossils, seismic scars, hollow caves, and strange bursts of geothermal energy all prove one thing. The Missouri is not just a river, it is a restless system, alive with secrets. For centuries we thought we had mapped it, dammed it, and controlled it, but the discoveries beneath its waters prove that control was always an illusion. The Missouri has shifted before, it will shift again, and what scientists are uncovering now is a warning that the next change may come faster and hit harder than anyone is ready for. So the question remains, is the Missouri River still a lifeline for America's future? Or is it a ticking clock counting down to the next great disaster? If you want more deep dive investigations into Earth's greatest mysteries and shocking discoveries, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this video with others. The The Missouri River has spoken, and what lies beneath it may be only the beginning of what's still to come.